Hey guys, today I have some tangerines and I am going to be showing you what I consider to be the best way to peel them. Before I begin, comment how many tangerines I'll get to by the end of this video, leave a like and subscribe. Also, please watch until the end for an important message. Now, when I was younger, this was how I used to peel it, without any forethought really. I would just dig my fingers in and hack away at it. Now, I don't find this to be a huge problem, but your fingers get really sticky and a lot of gunk gets underneath your nails. And if you're really unlucky, it's hard to separate each piece without squirting everywhere. Alright, I'll get to this guy later. So what I like to do now is this. First, I start massaging on the outside. I think it makes it easier to peel without actually popping the tangerine. Now after that, what you want to do is flip it upside down like this and press your thumbs into the butt end. That's right here. And since you already loosened the skin, it should give way pretty easily, and by using your thumbs, you can split the tangerine in half. Now before I go any further, I'd like to say that yes, the real best way to peel is to peel all the way around in one go. But I don't think that's really consistent. And like I said, I eat a lot of these, so it doesn't really quite do it for me. And if you really want it in one piece, you can stop short like how I did right here, but I like it in two pieces, so I'm gonna go ahead and split it. That way I have one for me, and one for me later. So if you're not convinced by now, I'm with you. I wasn't at first when my grandpa first told me this method either. I was completely against the fact that I was doing something as mundane as peeling a tangerine in the wrong way. And I had the feeling that whatever my grandpa was gonna say, it wasn't gonna be anything worthwhile. Sometimes your gut reaction is right, but in other times, like in this case for me, it made me realize how much I value the comfort of doing things in the way I always have. Things even as small as this. And it made me realize just how easy it was to dismiss an approach that was unfamiliar. I didn't lose sleep over this, but it did make me think. That's one tangerine, by the way. Alright, back to this first one. At various points in my life, I've fallen into a routine, getting comfortable with the way that I do things without really questioning it. I'm in the middle of reading The Black Swan, a book by Nassim Taleb, and in it there's this example of how scholars in Europe thought swans were only white because at that time, well, that's all they saw. It wasn't until black swans were discovered in Australia and that information reached Europe that this paradigm of thinking was shattered. So what this new correct way to peel a tangerine taught me was that my past habits inadvertently hardened a belief that I was doing something in the best way possible, not because it was best, but because that was the only thing that I had ever done. 2 tangerines. Now, I think many times people assume that you have to go to a fancy college or be well educated to think critically. And maybe these institutions help with how you dissect a primary source, but that's all they do really. What's just as important as how you analyze a question is the question itself. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm a rising junior at Princeton, and from what I can tell you from my experience at school so far, it's that the smartest people seem to be those who are humble enough and open-minded enough to look past their own brilliance and acknowledge the fact that there is so much yet they have to learn. You can't know everything, and you never will know everything, but you can try to be the most open-minded version of yourself as possible. You may not end up changing your minds, but it's the effort to reconsider that's important. Those 3 tangerines, Jesus Christ. Whoever we are, the way we think is heavily influenced by the structured world that we're born into, and the daily activities like peeling a tangerine that fill up our time. And once we're comfortable with how we digest the things around us, it's easy to blindly follow an arbitrary system, not one that makes us happier or one that helps us spread love, but one that makes us feel comfortable. Now, if this hasn't convinced you to consider a different way of eating tangerines, I guess that's fine. but I urge you to listen to my final message. Over the past couple of weeks, there's been a huge surge in Black Lives Matter activism. For those of us like myself who live in comfort, it's not okay to dismiss a systemic flaw, even if we haven't experienced it for ourselves. Oh, poor Tangerine. Now, if you take anything away from this video, I hope it's not that you learned a cool party trick, but that you take small steps to become more aware of the world around you. I've linked a couple places where you can donate and show your support for the Black Lives Matter movement. What I think is another brilliant platform to show your support for the movement, but also for businesses that were hit hard by the coronavirus, is a platform called KIVA. KIVA is a place where you can dish out interest-free loans to entrepreneurs. This is a great way to support businesses, whether you're in the area or not, and once the entrepreneurs pay off a small loan of like $25 usually, you can then reinvest that same money and support another business. That way you can help more people than a mere donation would. Don't wallow in comfort, and please help out wherever you can. I hope you have a blast eating tangerines, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, yeah, also, like, Jesus Christ, how many was that? Well, that's my dinner.